other dungeons that require keys to get through.
And with half magic, Kane strats on Mini Moldorm Cave make it really easy.
Yeah, for sure.
And I know I said that skipping the Blind Hut, Thieves Town, big key. The skipping the Blind Hut is not going to come bite LavanFirestorm, but it looks like we have not gotten any other health upgrades yet, so that one health upgrade might be a big deal.
Yeah, it looks like BigDunka does have some more health, so maybe he got a few more things on Death Mountain, maybe. Maybe there's some health in this room that Lavan's in.
And this should be Silver's, if I believe chat, which I should, apparently.
Yep. So the big key for Thieves Town is actually really good, because at this point, you can fully complete Thieves Town once you can get access to it. So that is really, really nice to have.
And all we're looking for is the Moon Pearl now.
Mm-hmm. Just based on what we've seen so far, it could potentially be in Eastern Palace.
So 2 out of 3 fetch quests are not paying out. It looks like BigDunka might be going to the 3rd fetch quest. Nope.
He's going to Eastern.
I mean, even though he can't finish Eastern, this is a lot of chests to be able to check over here.
Yeah, and it's a Sphere Zero location, pretty much. You can always access these chests whenever you start the game, so it's good to check this. We do have Dark Palace Green Pendant.
And again, unlike other formats where you can always just open the map to find what your Turtle Rock small key. Oh, and a sword.
Ooh.
So everyone looks like they're going to be getting their swords very, very soon. Which will again make that Eastern Palace Dark Room a lot easier.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
So I can see that BigDunka has not gone to Hyrule Castle yet, just based solely on the fact that he does not have Bombos, and with that sword, he'll be able to very likely do the Dark Rooms in Hyrule Castle as well, just so he doesn't have to go back there later.
Mm-hmm.
And a hook shot. That is a big item.
Very big item. It will not lead to progression in this particular case, though, because all the items you could have got with that were already gotten when they went up to Death Mountain earlier anyway. But yeah, it is definitely going to get that. It's a good stunning weapon for enemies, so definitely can make some good use for that.
It'd also make this particular area slightly quicker.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Shot over to this chest here. We are still missing keys. It looks like the only keys we have are the dungeons that either require a lot of keys to be able to do or don't require any keys at all. So that is what we are on the lookout for now, is we need keys. Other than the Thieves Town key.
And the funny thing about the Palace of Darkness is it's green pendant, so that may not even be required to fully complete
And we have the Moon Pearl, so Dark World is open.
Yes, it is, and there's a lot of options right now too.
Thieves Town is completable, and we can at the very least dip into Skull Woods with all of the stuff we have now. BigDunka making very quick work of these dark rooms, much faster than I could. Even without using Sword Slash to see where he is. Oh, that was very close.
Yeah, that was very, very close. And we'll actually get to see what Thieves Town is when we get to the Dark World, because he just found the map for the Thieves Town right there.
That is assuming he actually opens the map screen.
True, true. And I do like this location, the starting location, because it will allow him to kind of check the hype cave, which honestly is more hype in Keysanity, just because you are looking for more items. But then you can kind of go from the south north to Village of Outcasts. Got a Crystal Thieves, Red Crystal Swamp, and Red Pendant in Ice Palace.
And we also have Turtle Rock as another crystal, so Turtle Rock will be required for this.
Okay, cool. We have been getting a lot of maps, I've noticed.
I mean, they're nice, but they're useless.
They're
basically useless.
Yeah, yeah. I guess. The funny thing is, in the last... oh, wow, there's the Mitts. Mitts immediately.
Tower of Hera Big Key means that is completable. We have our
Lamp.
lamp.
Alright.
That is a very hype cave.
Definitely. Very, very hype. And the funny part is, if you think about this from a logic standpoint, they wanted you to grab the Moon Pearl to just leave Eastern and come back for that other chest in the logic later. That's so mean.
I did not know that this guy told you where the important crystals are. That is new information and very useful for Keysanity.
Yes, so Misery Mire, other red crystal.
And more maps. So now we know where 2 of the 3 pendants are.
Yeah, there's still one pendant out there, but you might get a map before too long, so we'll see.
Skipping out on the validation arrow, as to be expected. And even with the deviation in their routes, Sigma and BigDunka are right next to each other, it looks like, with all the same items.
Oh, not necessarily. No, not exactly. Dunka does not have that Bombos medallion yet, according to the tracker.
So that actually puts Sigma a little bit ahead of BigDunka.
Yeah, that Bombos medallion could be required. Not just for the medallions, but it could be the only way to get through Ice Palace at this point.
And we have an Ice Rod and Digging Game, which is required, though not necessarily very useful prior to Try Next.
Oh, it was Fire Rod?
No, it was Ice Rod.
Okay, chat's saying it was Fire Rod. Well, we'll see it pause at some point, so we'll figure it out. Or we'll see it from Sigma.
Yeah, that is impossible to differentiate here.
Yeah, I think that is Fire Rod. Yeah, that is. Good call, chat. Good call.
Ganon's Tower Key, not particularly useful.
Wow, so Phant is just now checking this cave over here. Got Master Sword, so he got his first sword somewhere else.
I believe I heard chat say that there is a sword on Batcave, so
Oh, okay, yeah, that's I think that's the one.
BigDunka is about to
Yeah.
get that, probably.
Okay.
As well as Sigma, if he remembers. LavanFirestorm's route is something I have never seen before. Like, that is a very late lumberjack check. Did you catch what was on Bumper Cave as he ran past?
No, I did not. I was looking at one of the others.
Phant's going to be checking the one chesty cannon here. And he is not happy with what he sees. Phant finally going to Eastern Palace, going to get his Dark World access here.
And like, I definitely understand what he was doing. He just did not. Oh wow. Okay, tempered sword from Sick Kid, and a key to Ganon's tower in the graveyard ledge.
Like, I know this is not a nice thing to say, but this seat has been very nice with the items it's given out.
So far, not a lot of keys though, so this could be one of those where they give like all the items immediately, but then the keys are just in the most awkward of locations. Oh, and there's where you get the bottle. Okay, so the bottle was in that house in the bomb house in Outcasts.
Yeah. So I like this move. He's probably going to go ahead and clear out Thieves Town, despite the fact that it is... Wait, we don't know what it is.
No, we don't, I believe. Oh, yeah, we do. It's a crystal. Thieves Stone's crystal.
Right. But we have... This is... We can go defeat Ganon very easily with the items we have, with Fire... Fire Sword, and... I know some of our runners have Mirror Shield. And BigDunka just got Red Mail, so nothing is going to be hurting him, despite the fact that he has... All of our runners are still very low on hearts.
Yeah, yeah, I was getting ready to say that. Well, yeah, they do definitely have a lot of good items for it, but they need some health, and they also got to get to Ganon. But yeah, they'd have a pretty good end game setup as far as just like normal items are concerned. So the one unfortunate thing about Dunka in his current position in Thieves Town is he does not have the small key for Thieves Town yet. I mean, he has one now, but that was just for that door. He does need one more small key to completely clean this place out. And unfortunately, probably not going to get it, so he will be leaving that chest behind. But that's kind of the risk you kind of have to take with Keysanity sometimes. You're just going to have to live with that you just won't get all the keys necessary.
I don't see that being an uncommon route in this particular seed. You can see, we already have 2 of our runners in Thieves Count, and a third with Lavan probably going to enter as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
All of these keys.
These keys, nowhere to be found.
Well, we keep getting keys for, as I said before, dungeons that either don't need them or need a whole lot of them.
Yep.
Not the ones that need just a few.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And yeah, to very quickly respond to someone in chat, yeah, there could be a situation where there is, for example, I'll just use the example the chatter came up with, Ice Rod in Ganon's Tower, and Ganon's Tower Big Key at Trinex. That is definitely possible. Stuff like that's happened in 2 of the dailies I've done for.
It will be possible in this seed because Soda Rock is not a crystal or a pendant dungeon. It is a crystal, as we know. But
Right. But yeah, scenarios like that can definitely happen.
The 2 dungeons that we know are pendant dungeons do not have anything blocking them, from what I can tell, that would be in Ganon's Tower, other than keys. So we could have a big key that hides progression in Ganon's Tower in this seed.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the boots coming out of blind.
Yeah, that's right, chat. What are those? I wish I knew. I wish I knew what those were.
BigDunka immediately going up to finish Skull Woods, very likely.
Mm-hmm.
Phant's gonna go ahead and get his Fire Rod. And we, with the exception of Phant just being a little bit behind, it looks like everyone is back on the same route.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Phant kind of checked a little extra overworld, but you know, sometimes like you just don't know where items are going to be in Keysanity, so you just kind of have to take that risk of checking locations.
Even so, with him having already checked these overworld locations, it is possible, even likely, that there will be one item, one key or something that is going to cause these 3 other runners to be forced to check the items that the areas that Phant has already checked.
Exactly.
So Phant is not out of it at all in this race.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth that goes with just routing in general for Keysanity, so you never know how the placement of runners are going to be until you quite literally get towards the end.
Like, it's not over until go mode, and even then, bad things can happen.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
We have a question about how different keys are placed in Keysanity, and actually, the only keys that are not randomized are the ones that are under pods. So you can see here that this pod is guaranteed to have a key, even though all of the other keys are randomized.
Yeah, so it's basically just keys that are in treasure chests or on like torches or the Hera key on the ground, like stuff like that. If it's in a pot or an enemy, it'll still be in that vanilla location.
Except, of course, as Chad is pointing out, Skullwoods has a guaranteed key chest just to prevent soft locks in this game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it's just like vanilla randomizer. The keys are randomized in pretty much the same exact way. You'll never find a key for something behind like a location where you need that key, absolutely need that key. So it's done in a way where you can complete the seed, no issues whatsoever, with the exception of possible Palace of Darkness locks, but they're still working on the logic fixes for those.
I mean, we just had one of those. What's the chance that it's going to happen again soon?
Speaking of Dark Palace, big key, and that's Bonkrock's chest.
Not the big key that they are looking for, because Dark Palace is quite a pain to go through in Keysanity, with the hammer jump being particularly useful, as it allows you to skip a key in Dark Palace.
Yet at the same time, there are so many chests in there, so there's going to be a lot of items in Palace of Darkness, so it's
So that
just
is
kind of a good place to check.
Yeah, that is all three of our pendants, and we got a big key in Skullwoods at the Skullwoods boss.
Wow.
Sort of vanilla-ish big key.
Pedestal check cannot happen because we do not have the book yet, Revolving Ocelot, but you know, that's always a possibility, I suppose. I mean, more items can be there with the keys added into the mix.
Also, the more pendants we have access to, the more likely pedestal is going to be in this mode.
Mm-hmm.
I personally found that Keysanity is very good about giving you access specifically to what you need, not necessarily what you luxury could have.
Right. Yes, Nora Rose, it has been fixed so that whenever you go in a dungeon, you can't tell by the music. The music is random, so you'll never know until you have that map for the dungeon. Or unless you get it yourself.
That is a heart piece, which actually might be very useful considering how very stingy this seed has been with hearts.
Yeah, 6 hearts is the max I see right now from our runners, so they could really use some more health right now. Thankfully, they have the red mail readily available at this point, but still, traps will still do 1 heart of damage no matter what.
I mean, seeing that all 4 of our runners have red mail.
Mm-hmm.
BigDunka being very efficient with his checks. I noticed that LavanFirestorm checked up here without the boots and will have to go back if he wants to check again. Whereas BigDunka, just because of the luck of where he started and where he ended, is able to do all of this all with one go through.
Yeah, finding the mitts in Dark World Hype Cave was definitely a good find, because then it did allow him to go north up through Village of Outcasts, and that's where he found the fire rod. So he was able to just do everything in one swoop, got the boots from the process, and was just able to route this very, very efficiently.
Looks like he's doing Eastern Dark Mountain now.
You know, if he did have Bombos, and Bombos was the medallion on Turtle Rock, that'd be a very interesting check. but
I
unfortunately,
am actually very surprised that he has not gone to Hyrule Castle yet. There are a lot of chests in there.
there are. But just kind of going what I might be think he's doing. He might be saving that for when he goes to the pyramid. That way he can mirror from the Dark World and just take care of pyramid, give a little more value to that check. Speaking of pyramid, key to Swamp Palace.
Was that the small key?
Yeah, the small key.
That is the only thing that's required to make, along with Hookshot, to make Swamp Palace completable. So that is a whole lot of chests there.
There are, but they are missing another key item though before making that officially, and that would be the flippers, which they need to swim in there.
Yep.
But yeah, but that is good. They'll probably run into the flippers at some point. So
Considering, as we know, Swamp Palace is going to be required to finish this seed.
it was this big key. I swear it looked like a small key to me, but I must be going colorblind or something, or blind or something.
Yeah, it was definitely a big key, as you can see on Lavan's
Okay, fair enough.
menu.
Sorry about that, guys. My bad. Maybe I saw a small key on someone else's screen, and then I saw the text, and I just thought, oh, maybe that's what it is.
It's very likely. Even so, big keys for any dungeon that can be completed without the big key are very useful, because, especially for Swamp Palace, that being a dungeon that no one wants to have to go through twice.
Mm-hmm. Dunka getting Moldorm trolled right here, though.
We call him Troll Dome for a reason. However, his second go through very, very easy Troll Dome kill.
And the cape.
Considering where he is, that cape is going to open up Spike Cave, which I would not be surprised if he just goes ahead and checks right now.
Yeah, and especially with that full magic meter right now. Oh, no, okay, he's going over here first. Which, okay, he might be clearing over here, and then he'll probably jump down when he's done.
Now, here's the quote-unquote a moment of truth, where if this is Bombos, then BigDunka is going to have just a little bit of efficiency lost.
Well,
And it is.
yeah, just a little bit. Now, oh wait, no, they have Fire Rod too, though, so there is more they can do there. I mean, we don't know what's in there yet, so we don't know for sure, but that is definitely probably a little annoying.
They have at least one small key, if not two, Total Rock. So they will be able to get a pretty hefty far way in to Turtle Rock. Only 3 are required to complete it if you steal the small key and don't get vanilla big key chests, but whereas 4 will be required for a full clear.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, Book of Medora in the Hookshot Cave.
Only really useful if one of the tablets has a progression item on it, simply because they already have Desert Palace access.
Yeah.
I do not remember what was on this ledge up here.
Small key for something. We don't know what key it is yet. Ooh, Desert Palace.
That opens up 2 chests in Desert Palace, which will be very useful. And BigDunka, in fact, going back for that. Oh, he's going to check the tablet right now. But I would be very surprised if he doesn't also do Spike Cave here.
Yeah. Especially with double or half magic, it makes a lot of sense too, just to get it out of the way and out of your thoughts and your mind.
They do not have the big key for Turtle Rock yet. So the furthest they can get is, in fact, Mimic Cave. And that's only if they skip a key. Wait.
Yeah.
No, you can get there even if you do the normal big key, because there are not any keys between big key, or any locked doors between big key and Mimic Cave, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I can't remember entirely. I think that's right.
But BigDunka's slightly ahead, but Sigma looks like he's going to be able to dip into Turtle Rock, which may pay off. And just a question of whether he does. I did not catch that at all. I hope someone in Scott chat caught what Misery Mire medallion is. And those are the flippers!
Ooh.
It looks like our trackers didn't catch it either.
Well, the one thing we do know for sure is, regardless of what it is, Dunka ain't doing it because he doesn't have any medallions yet.
Phant does have Bombos, so if it is Bombos, Phant will be able to go into Misery Mire pretty quickly.
First, he's checking that desert area.
So here comes the big question. Is Sigma going to go left Spike Cave, or is he going to go right and dip into Turtle Rock?
Okay, I saw it on Lavan's stream, and Voligen is confirming it. It is Bombos as well.
So we do not require any more medallions, because the only medallion we could need outside of getting into Turtle Rock and Misery Mire is the medallion we have.
Mm-hmm. So Dunka will have to go to Hyrule Castle at some point. Again, I'm thinking he'll probably do it when he goes to the pyramid. But yeah, he'll need to get that medallion.
I am watching Sigma's screen here and Phant's screen because I want to know if there is progression in these dungeons that BigDunka cannot get to.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing so far. We still have a few more chests to go.
Oh wow, chat pointed out something I didn't even realize. Yeah, they are in item go mode right now. They have all the items they need. They just need to find all the keys they need to go with them to get through all the dungeons.
By they, we're talking about Lavan. Lavan is the
Lavan, right?
The only runner who actually has all the items required to complete the game.
Yeah, Lavan's only in go mode. That's right.
Oh, killed by the backswing of that Pokey. But he does have a fairy. With this few hearts, like, fairies are probably very much more useful than they would normally be.
Yeah, definitely.
Lavan looks like he might be building up money to go talk to Zora. Oh, but he failed the, he was trying to go into... I cannot, for the love of me, remember the name of that cave he was trying to go into, but I'm sure people know.
Yeah, Sigma has the butter sword. He found it in Chain Chomp room. And he leaves because he didn't have any more small keys, so...
I know earlier versions of Keysanity actually counted down the keys as you used them, but that does not seem to be the case here. This is going to be very close Spike Cave for Sigma. But he does make it.
Found the small key to Thieves Town. That does put the big chest back into play, but I can see that being like a last resort location at this point. Okay, so Dunka is going back into Hyrule Castle. He will get his Bombos medallion very, very shortly. Okay, so Phant is actually checking out Swamp Palace here. Oh my god, it's vanilla. We have a vanilla Swamp Palace small key. Wow. Again. I always see these when I commentate these. I never see them when I'm actually playing them. That's interesting. So yeah, with that acquisition, this does allow Swamp Palace to be completed. And like we said before, there are a lot of items in here, so possibility is we're going to find probably other keys to other dungeons. We can get through some of those, and yeah, he can start working his way through getting the rest of the keys for Go mode. Because, yeah, he still does not have the Ice Rod yet. That is in Hera, so you'll have to pick that up when he goes there to get it. But I can see him making a play back on there at some point. But yeah, as we said before, 10% chance of that happening.
That is going to be... That is going to get a lot of runners very salty.
Yeah, I know, it will.
And with that, despite the fact that Phant was slightly behind at the beginning, it looks like he might be ahead. Actually, in fact, I would say he is very much ahead.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. Like, it's like you said. Like, even though he just checked all those overworlds, at some point, all the other runners will be making those same checks, and probably going to those checks before the Swamp Palace check. So, this is going to give him a big advantage of these particular runners. Looks like we also have another interesting check on Sigma's side. He's going into Ice Palace.
Well, with a bomb jump, which is quite easy, he's going to be able to do a lot of this dungeon, even though it is just a pendant.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, I don't think you need any small keys necessarily. It's kind of awkward to get around, and you have to make some weird decisions, but it is possible. There are a few small keys you can find in here that are in pots, but it's usually nice to go in here with at least one at the very least.
Being aware of the 10% chance for vanilla key does not necessarily mean that you're going to be choosing in the moment to go there, and it's really going to depend on what is available to these runners. As we can already see, that Sigma has already decided to dip into a pendant ice palace instead of checking whether that small key is vanilla.
Mm-hmm. We did get the Desert Palace big key in Swamp, so that Swamp gamble paying off again, because that's going to be able to complete Desert.
This bomb jump particularly difficult with the... Oh, no! Runners must have gotten a lot of just hearts while I wasn't even looking, because it feels like they were just at only 5, and they're all the way up to 10.
Yeah, I think they've gotten a few from the Misery Mire checks and the preliminary Desert checks, so they definitely gained some health. None of them on their second row yet, though. Usually around this point.
2 big keys. That's the big key to Total Rock.
Oh, wow.
All of the big keys are in Swamp Palace. The big thing is, how long is it going to take these runners to dip into Swamp Palace? Because that looks like that's going to be the key to doing this seed quickly.
Yeah, I see what you did there, and I like it. So good job on that. But yeah, like Swamp is having all the value here right now, and it's definitely giving Phant a lot of opportunities to not only catch up, but also be ahead of everyone else just by taking that 10% chance that it was there, and sure enough, it was. And yeah, LavanFirestorm also checking out Ice Palace too. Okay, there was a key to Turtle Rock in Ice Palace, so there is some value in Ice Palace, because they may need to get some small keys for Turtle Rock, so it's not a bad gamble at all. There could be definitely even some more keys here, but all those big keys, though, from Swamp.
And I cannot remember where Ice Rod was. Do you remember where that was?
Hera. It was in the middle chest, like right before the big chest.
So Phant is definitely going to pick that up on his way to completing these dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still missing Eastern Palace big key.
I think I saw someone get that. No, I'm thinking of the map. You're right. I don't think we've gotten that big key yet.
And Misery Mire big key. Is that all the only keys that we have not seen yet? Only big keys that were required to finish dungeons?
Ganon's Tower as well. I don't think we've seen that either, but yeah, for normal dungeons, yeah, I think that's all we have.
We may be playing the Ganon's Tower game anyway.
Yeah, that's true. It happened in yesterday's Keysanity. It was in Ganon's Tower.
And again, we still have not gotten a pedestal check. An important big key can very easily be there.
Mm-hmm.
Which will make this Ice Palace dip hurt basically not at all.
Ooh, the second, or one of the small keys to Castle Tower in the torture room in Hera.
Now remember, only one of those small keys is required to be able to get both items in Aga 1. And it is very clear that Aga 1 is not required here. So they'll only need to get one of those if a required item is on that second chest. Getting more overworld checks from Phant. And BigDunka finally checking Total Rock, and maybe we'll actually get to see what is beyond the Chain Chomp room.
Yeah, I think Phant is going to be going back over here to finish up Deserts.
So we're actually going to be able to see what's on right side of Desert because Phant already has that small key.
Okay, just a bottle in the big chest.
Is Phant not checking right side? That's two.
I think he
chests.
already did. Maybe because he
He
doesn't
got.
have he doesn't have a small key right now.
Oh, you're right. He must have, because he is the only person that got that.
Big key. He got the big key in Swamp, so that's why he's back here.
Right. I know that there was a swamp small key picked up by someone. I just can't remember who it was.
Or you mean a desert small key?
Yeah, desert. That is what I in fact mean.
Yeah. I think that was Fan. I think he just already did that. Because he didn't. I don't think he went into my. Oh no, he did. He opened Mire. Oh, Floating Island. That's where it was. Death Mountain. Yeah, that's right.
So that is 3 required bosses down for Phant, putting him in the lead as far as bosses are concerned.
And he's getting ready to go after another one and get his Ice Rod in the process. And after that, Turtle Rock will be on the table since he does have that big key.
I think he only has 3 small keys, so he will need to skip the big key chest in order to finish Total Rock.
Right.
And I just completely missed Mimic Cave. Did you see what that was?
It was only Rippies.
Hmm.
Yeah, some of the logic I liked. And okay, yeah, there is a big key door right there, so they can't go to Laser Bridge without that big key. I think that was a question we were asked earlier, anyway. But a question did come up about the big key chest in Turtle Rock. I find that it's not really a bad thing to skip that chest more than often because it's a case where that's a place where you can skip a chest for a little while. They don't tend to try to put very many important items there unless you have all the keys by that point. So it's kind of a safe bet to skip that, just on the off chance that like you probably won't get key locked there. So it's a safer location to skip than other ones, basically.
I have definitely seen a... No. That would be... I was about to lie to everyone, so I am going to stop my statement before I start it. We have 4 bosses down for Phant.
Now 5.
4 required bosses, I guess is what I mean.
Okay.
We are missing Eastern Palace, Misery Mire, and Total Rock now. And I would not be surprised at all if Phant goes directly to Total Rock now.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good call at this point. And there's still a lot of other chests, like, I mean... just with the big key, or the big chest in general, that's like one more location right there that he could check than what Dunka could check. And then there's the 4 on Laser Bridge, the one at Trinex. There's a lot of items. You might even find some of the other keys we need anyway.
Oh. Big key to Misery Mire in Pod. So a Pod dip is required to finish this seed.
Why am I not surprised that Pod has some sort of progression in a Keysanity seed?
There's so many. It's just as surprising as Swamp Palace having progression. There's so many chests in here.
Yeah, you have to remember that there's 6 key chests. There's the 5 item chests that you'd go for unique items in normal and standard seeds. Then you have the 3 dungeon item chests, and then Trinex. So that's a lot of... Oh no, Trinex wouldn't... Or not Trinex, Helmastore. That wouldn't count anyway. But yeah, that's over 10 item possibilities just in one dungeon.
There are, in fact, 14 items in Pod.
14.
With it being the largest number of items chests in any dungeon. Turtle Rock only has 12.
Right, so yeah. Pod value. And no one has Ganon's Tower Big Key yet. We are still looking for that.
Okay, so here's the hammer jump. Again, this saves a key in Dark Palace, which is a big deal. Let's see if he's going to be doing it. Nope.
Nope.
And big key to Eastern Palace. So we have 2 big keys in Swamp Palace and 2 big keys in Pod.
Okay, so yeah, Phant's gonna get the small key for Desert Palace now. But yeah, after Turtle Rock, Phant needs to go to Palace of Darkness if he wants to kind of keep this pseudo lead he has right now, because no one has still gone to Swamp Palace yet.
So I'm hearing in chat they're saying we have commentators go mode.
Not yet, actually. We still need that big key for Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, big key for Ganon's Tower is still required.
It honestly could be in Ganon's Tower. I mean, that's kind of it's kind of one of those things where it's like, should I really risk just going straight to Ganon's Tower to check? But there's those 22 locations that we all know and love from the tournament guessing games. There's a good possibility it can be there. It's not a bad place to check.
And I feel like this race is going to come down to whoever is able to check both Pod and Swamp Palace first, at least between our runners. So this is the moment of truth for Phant. If he skips the big key chest, he is going to be able to finish this, and that might put him a little bit ahead.
Yeah, it comes down to whenever anyone else enters Swamp Palace and when he goes to Pod at this point.
Has Lavan dipped into Pod yet?
I don't think so, no.
It's just going to be Sigma and BigDunka as of right now.
Lavan does have purple chest, which means he will be in the area of Swamp Palace, so he could be the... We could have a left side checking Swamp, right side checking Pod.
Silver Arrows making Eastern Palace boss much easier than it's ever intended to be.
Yeah. And no, Lavan going back to Death Mountain.
And
Okay.
Phant making the play, stealing the key, and going directly to Trinex.
Yeah, good call. Very good call.
The only way this can backfire is if that Ganon's Tower key is in that big key chest, which I would not put past this seed.
Well, it could be a situation where the last Turtle Rock key could be in Ganon's Tower.
We actually know that the
takes you-
last Turtle Rock key
Oh, you're
is in
right,
Ice
you're right,
Palace.
You're right, yeah. I almost forgot about that.
So what are you thinking about at this point if you're fans at an hour 15 in just looking for 2 big keys to be able to get to go mode? I mean, I would think I'm ahead, pretty ahead at this point.
I feel like if you make a Swamp Palace gamble and it's there, the small key is there, you got to be feeling pretty good. I think at this point, if I were in this position, I'd be thinking, okay, I'm just going to complete the dungeons I can complete right now, see if I can maybe get some keys there. Then I'll start looking at the pendant dungeons, and Pod is a good one to look at, so I would make that call, but will Phant make that call? I have no idea. We're just going to have to see. Honestly, Dunka's probably feeling pretty good too, because he does have all those other keys that Phant needs. He just needs that small key, and then at some point when he gets done with all these dungeons, he's going to go, well, moment of truth, let's check this last dungeon, see if it's that first chest, and then when he does, he'll be going straight through it.
However, like, as BigDunka, do you choose the 1 key in Swamp Palace with the possibility of losing a lot of time, or do you choose the 8 keys in Ice Palace? And I think I choose the 8 keys in Ice Palace before dipping into Swamp.
It's an interesting call for sure.
And there's the Cane of Brian on Laser Bridge. Oh, and GT Big Key, just completely missing that. So we are actually in Commentator's Go mode. All that Phant needs to do to complete this seed is jump into Pod, and he is in Go mode.
Yeah. We've definitely gotten small keys from Ganon's Tower. I've definitely seen a couple of those by this point. So
and all you need is
that will
one.
not be an issue either.
All you need is one to be able to complete it.
Mm-hmm.
Now with Gold Sword and Red Mail, I cannot imagine this will be a hard fight for fans.
Nope, not at all.
No mode. K-N-O-W. I like that. We are in no
Mhm.
mode. If only no didn't also sound like no.
Yeah. And there's the second castle tower key if you want to make that play, but nah, I don't see that happening.
Like, we know that pod is the right move, and it's just
Yeah.
going to be whether Phant decides that pod is where he wants to be going. And as I said, like, even though the right move is Swamp Palace, the smart move is Ice Palace, and that's where BigDunka is going.
Well, BigDunka has already been. Oh no, okay, no, okay. I misheard what you said. Yeah, you're right.
And we are officially out of PED. There's Go mode is a pretty clear indicator that a pedestal is dead. We have no idea what PED was, or at least I have no idea what PED was. Did you see that?
I don't think it was checked. Oh wait, Lavan checked it. Something.
It was more arrows.
Okay. Oh, who cares about that?
Exactly 0 people. I say that now, and suddenly someone's gonna run out of arrows on Ganon.
Uh-oh. Lavan, what are you doing? Oh, he does have. Maybe he has all of them. No, he doesn't.
No, he does not. He is missing a small key. He hasn't done Swamp Palace, and that's where the last
right.
Total Rock small key is.
Well, I mean, thankfully he will be going back there, but still.
Total Rock is not a dungeon you want to be double dipping just to do Trinex.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I guess he'd have to anyway, because he does not have the big key for it yet, so.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I guess in that circumstance, this is a completely reasonable play to make. You want to be opening as many chests as you can.
The thing is, though, he doesn't know that there is a small key for this dungeon in Swamp, though. So he'd be making a big gamble. It's gonna work fine for him, but he does not know that.
Phant giving BigDunka a chance to catch up by just checking more overworld locations.
And look where Sigma's going.
Directly into Swamp Palace. So that is our second person in Swamp Palace, but he has not checked pod, right?
No, he did. He was one of the. Yeah, he was one of the people, the right side. The right side checked pod, and Lavan's checking pod now. I don't think Sigma got everything out of pod,